much.
What drives humanity when pushed to its limits? Squid Game delves deep into this question, intertwining brutal competitions with raw human emotion. You and I both can agree that Season 2's finale left us on the edge. Rebellion ignited, trust shattered, people brutally killed, and more questions that need answers than before. So what lies ahead? Season 2's finale painted Gi-hun as a man haunted by his past victories and losses, consumed with exposing the architects of the game. So it's safe to say that Season 3 of Squid Game is set to dive headfirst into his relentless mission to dismantle the organization behind the games. But don't worry, in this video, we'll explore Squid Game Season 3, predicting how Gi-hun's rebellion, the frontman's inner conflict, and the sinister evolution of the trials might pan out. But before we get started with the video, we have a small request for you. If you like our content, subscribe to us and like the video. It might just be a simple click for you, but it means a lot to us. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. The rebellion against the games. Can Gi-hun topple the system? Unless In-ho imprisons him, Season 3 may begin with Seong Gi-hun kneeling over the slain body of his closest ally, Jung-bae. The final moments of Season 2 left him broken. His best friend's death, a devastating reminder of the game's merciless grip, but this will shift something primal in him. For Gi-hun, this loss isn't just a personal tragedy. It's the final push he needs to commit fully to dismantling the games once and for all. His journey to overthrow the system is not just about survival, it's about transformation. Gone is the naive man who hoped to play through integrity and save every contestant. Season 3 promises to show a more hardened Gi-hun, someone who understands that rebellion requires sacrifice, cunning, and a willingness to confront his own limits. His first steps might involve leveraging the alliances he made in Season 2, rallying surviving players who share his resolve and the traumatic scars of the aftermath. But the players who pressed O to continue the games in Season 2 will pose a significant obstacle. These individuals, like Daeho and Seonnyeol, showed their willingness to embrace the competition for the lure of wealth, power, or even twisted personal agendas. Even Gi-hun's most trusted allies, such as Hyunju, might hesitate to follow him again after watching so many perish in their attempt to fight back. The season's greatest challenge might not be the architects of the games, but the fractured trust among its members. It's also safe to assume that until and unless the post-credit scene of the end of Episode 7 of Season 2 was a flashback to the very first red light green light, Season 3 will continue with the surviving players forced to endure at least one or two more games, maybe more. These trials will add another layer of urgency to his plans, forcing him to fight not just for his survival, but for the lives of others caught in this deadly cycle. However, the most thrilling possibility lies in the convergence of all revolt efforts. Imagine the sheer spectacle of Hwang Jun-ho, the relentless police officer finally making it inside the gaming arena. The perfect stage for Season 3's climax could feature Jun-ho arriving just as Gi-hun orchestrates his grand plan to overthrow the system from within. Simultaneously, Kang No-eul's infiltration as a pink jumpsuit guard could unleash chaos behind enemy lines. These converging storylines would deliver a heart-pounding finale as uprising erupts both inside and outside the game's structure. The frontman. Redemption or ruin? In-ho, the elusive frontman, is a man of contradictions. Loyal executioner, yet plagued by doubt. Season 2 hinted at cracks in his hardened, murderous exterior, even if just a little. With Jun-ho's survival all but confirmed, their relationship is destined to take center stage in Season 3. The dramatic potential of a reunion or confrontation between these brothers is immense, setting the stage for emotional and ideological fireworks. In-ho's loyalty to the games will likely waver at the very end, as his brother's pursuit of justice forces him to reevaluate his choices. However, redemption will not come easily, if at all. The games have a way of tightening their grip on anyone who attempts to escape. One potential arc could see Jun-ho infiltrating the game's infrastructure, leveraging his knowledge as a police officer. This would inevitably lead to moments where the brothers' paths cross, resulting in tense standoffs. Picture Jun-ho begging In-ho to abandon the games, while In-ho, haunted by guilt, warns his brother of the consequences. Their fractured bond might echo the broader theme of familial ties being tested under the weight of oppressive systems, perfectly portrayed by Squid Game creator Hwang Do-hyuk. Jun-ho and In-ho's relationship could unfold in one of three ways. A clash of ideals. Jun-ho, determined to destroy the mass-murdering competitions, confronts In-ho, who justifies his actions as a necessary evil. Their conversations could offer viewers a window into the game's origins and philosophy, creating a rich narrative of brotherhood and betrayal. A fragile alliance. In-ho's guilt could drive him to secretly aid Jun-ho's cause, setting the stage for a high-stakes infiltration of the games. Redemption or demise. One of the brothers may have to sacrifice themselves to achieve their goals, leading to a heartbreaking resolution. What will happen to other key characters? Season 2's finale left several character arcs open, each primed to shake the high-stakes plotlines of Season 3. As Gi-hun's uprising gains momentum, it will attract both allies and enemies, creating opportunities for mind-blowing character dynamics and backstabbing of the highest satisfaction. Kang No-eul. As a pink jumpsuit guard and North Korean defector, Kang No-ul is perfectly positioned to disrupt the system from within. Her search for her daughter remains a powerful motivator, but her growing rivalry with the game's hierarchy could push her to take extreme measures. Imagine No-ul stealthily eliminating key figures in the game's infrastructure, using her military training to weaken the organization from the inside, especially the two a-holes who cut and threatened her. Her arc could culminate in a moment where she saves Gi-hun's rebellion at great personal cost. Park Young-sik and Jang Gyum-ja. The mother-son duo survive Season 2, but their emotional wounds run deep. Young-sik, burdened by guilt over dragging his mother into the games, might struggle to reconcile his survival instincts with his need for redemption. Gyum-ja, however, could become a rallying figure among the players, advocating for unity and trust. Their bond will likely face severe tests, especially if a game pits them against each other, or forces them to make impossible choices. The most satisfying arc would be Young-sik sacrificing himself for his mother, or the other way around, leaving the other to live with the burden of their loved one's death. Seonyo. The self-proclaimed shaman thrives in chaos, and Season 3 would undoubtedly amplify her cryptic, manipulative nature. She could weaponize superstition and fear, creating fractures in Gi-hun's rebellion, while aligning herself with the most powerful figures in the games. Alternatively, Seonyo's unpredictability could lead to moments of unexpected heroism or betrayal, depending on how her arc unfolds. Kim Jun-hee and Lee Myung-gi. Jun-hee and her ex-boyfriend Myung-gi are wildcards. Their shared history, marked by Myung-gi's betrayal and financial ruin, adds complexity to their survival. Jun-hee's maternal instincts might push her to ally with Gi-hun, while Myung-gi's opportunistic nature could make him a liability. Their dynamic would likely be rife with tension, especially if a trial forces them to confront their past or sacrifice one another. There will also be a delicious satisfaction if Myung-gi sacrifices himself to save Jun-hee and his baby, finally stepping up to be a father when it matters the most. Gi-hun's moral struggles, the price of justice. Gi-hun's journey has always been defined by his humanity. However, Season 3 is likely to challenge his moral compass in ways that blur the lines between right and wrong. As his fight against the games intensifies, he may face situations where every choice comes with devastating consequences. Imagine a scenario where Gi-hun must choose between exposing the games to the world or saving a group of contestants from certain death. His decisions might alienate his allies, painting him as a figure whose commitment to justice comes at too high a cost. He might be forced to compromise his principles, leading to internal conflicts that mirror the moral dilemmas of the games themselves. His transformation into an anti-hero could redefine the series, challenging viewers to question the true cost of rebellion. The season might even explore the psychological toll of Gi-hun's mission, depicting him as a man on the brink of mental breakdown or delirium. The games as a social experiment. Did you ever wonder if the Squid Game itself was never just a game, but a massive orchestrated social experiment? Imagine a revelation similar to the theories about the Platform 2, where many speculate that its harrowing events were designed to study rebellion, endurance, or the breaking point of humanity. Similarly, Season 3 of Squid Game could pull the rug out from under viewers, revealing that the competitions were never about mere profit or sadistic entertainment, but a carefully constructed study into the very essence of human nature. What starts as a critique of societal inequality and greed twists into a larger narrative, the question of how far will people go when pushed to their limits. This twist could reframe the games as part of a global initiative of shadowy elites, who justify their actions as uncovering essential truths about human nature. We're not villains, they might claim. We're revealing the one reality that matters, the cost of survival. However, even though this theory feels less likely due to the game's emphasis on the rich versus poor dynamic and societal exploitation, it wouldn't be entirely surprising to discover that the games did begin as a social experiment. Perhaps they were originally designed to study resilience or rebellion, but were ultimately hijacked by the rich and powerful, transforming into the grotesque spectacle we know today. After all, nothing says humanity's failures more than turning a desperate study of persistence into the ultimate plaything for greed. The games. Bigger, deadlier, and more twisted. The games have always been the beating heart of Squid Game, blending morality with psychological warfare. Season 2 gave us challenges like Mingle, which forced contestants to confront their humanity. Season 3 promises even more harrowing twists. Here are our predictions for 3 games that could be played in Season 3, and how the surviving characters might navigate their way through these brutal challenges. Now, if they played Prisoner's Dilemma, a game that forces contestants to decide whether to cooperate or betray, it could become an instant masterpiece. Contestants would face a seemingly simple choice: work together for mutual success, or betray their partner for guaranteed safety. Gi-hun, ever the ethical optimist, would likely advocate for cooperation, But his partner, perhaps Myung-gi, might see betrayal as the only way out. Hyunju and Young-sik, their bond strengthened in Season 2, might struggle to trust one another, with hesitation and survival instincts tearing them apart. Imagine Seonnyo, the shaman, whispering cryptic curses to stoke paranoia, driving pairs to self-destruction. Now if they played Red Thread, a game that feels like it could have been plucked right from the Squid Game playbook, contestants would find themselves quite literally tied together. One partner is blindfolded, while the other must guide them through a treacherous obstacle course. This competition would be a spectacle of trust and coordination. Gi-hun, probably paired with Hyunju, might thrive at first, their teamwork a rare moment of harmony amidst the chaos. But as the obstacles grow deadlier, even the strongest bonds might start to crack. Young-sik, tethered to someone volatile like Myung-gi, could face a constant struggle as every misstep inches them closer to disaster. Now imagine a game like Tethered Sacrifice, where contestants are physically bound to weights, sometimes literal, sometimes symbolic. To survive, they must cut the tether, leaving the weight behind. Gi-hun's refusal to abandon the weight, even at his own death, would make him a beacon of hope, or a target for frustration. Hyunju and Young-sik, weighed down by their shared history, might face an impossible decision: sacrifice the other or perish together. Lee Myung-gi, racked with guilt over his past and desperate to redeem himself, might be paralyzed with indecision. Could he finally put someone else's life above his own? Or would instincts push him to cut the tether without hesitation, adding to his inner torment? Meanwhile, Junhee, carrying the weight of her pregnancy and her child's future, might plead with her tethered partner to let her survive, adding an emotional complexity that would haunt everyone involved. Seonnyo, of course, in her dramatic fashion, would claim the tether represents karma or sin, heightening the tension with her eerie theatrics. With antagonists like In-ho pulling the strings, Seonnyo manipulating contestants inside the arena, and Captain Park interfering with any potential rescue attempts outside, the tension will reach a fever pitch. Survivor stories, healing or haunting. The survivors of the competition are leaving testaments to its horrors, and if Season 3 at any point takes the direction of the contestants finally winning the vote to leave the game, the story could explore their attempts to rebuild their lives, offering a deeply emotional lens through which to view the game's aftermath. Survivors might join Gi-hun's continued rebellion, using their experiences as a rallying cry for justice. Others, too traumatized to fight, may choose isolation or even complicity with the trials, adding layers of complexity to the rebellion's dynamics. A particularly compelling arc could involve a survivor turned antagonist, someone who, despite their suffering, believes the games serve a necessary purpose. This could force Gi-hun to confront the moral ambiguity of his mission. In my opinion, if they're to explore this angle, it would probably come at Season 3's end, giving it a now that it's over, what next feeling of Season 1 finale. Marvelous verdict. Season 3 promises to deliver a rebellion fueled by Gi-hun's transformation into a determined revolutionary, facing fractured alliances and ethical dilemmas head-on. With Junho attempting to infiltrate the arena and Noel's internal fighting in the system of pink suits, chaos is set to erupt on all fronts. Deadlier games like Prisoner's Dilemma and Tethered Sacrifice might test the limits of trust and survival, while Seonnyo's theatrics would sow much-needed paranoia among contestants. One thing is certain, Season 3 will take us to the blood and beyond. Let the games begin. If you like our content, like it and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone!